Hello, viewers, subscribers, and my fellow teachers. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Basic Math Solutions. In this video, I want to talk about how to teach expressing a decimal number and fraction, expressing it as a fraction in the lowest term, how you can teach it to especially below average learners. Okay, so if you've not subscribed to this channel, I'd like you to click the subscribe button below and turn on the notification bell so that you continue to get notifications on videos like this. So how will you teach uh, this concept to below average learners? Okay, you have to explain it in such a way that they will be able to understand the concept. Okay, so here we have a problem which says express 0.32 as a fraction in its lowest term. Now, in solving or in teaching this problem, okay, some of the opinion that you should tell the child to just maybe draw a line like this, and then you write one under the point and zeros under the other numbers, okay, under the decimal fractions, and then maybe you now start reducing to the lowest term. Okay, this is good, but for me, it is not very effective and it is not consistent, or it's not in line with the concept of decimal number. So this solution is bad, and it's not the best way you can do that. And I'm going to show you how you can actually do that. So how will you, or what's my way, what's my method that you can use to teach this? The first is that you have to, get your people, your learners to understand, the concept of decimal number. So you have to teach them the concept. There are some facts about decimal number that you have to explain to your pupil. Decimal number, as we know, a decimal number, a decimal number is a form of number which has both a whole number and decimal fractions separated with a decimal point. So you have to explain that concept, that fact to your pupils very properly. Okay, that tells you that a decimal number has two forms of numbers, that are actually put together. Okay, you know, um, making them understand that fact, we go a long way in helping them, when they are faced with a question, a problem having involving expressing a decimal number as a fraction. Okay, so you have to understand that every decimal number contains two forms of numbers, which are a whole number and decimal fractions. Okay, combined together. So it's a kind of combination of two numbers. Okay, a kind of combination of two numbers separated with a decimal point. Okay, and if it involves a combination, then in the process of expressing the fraction part of it as, expressing the decimal fraction part of it as a complete fraction, okay, you have to separate them. Since it's a combination, there will be a kind of separation, okay, because um, they came together. Okay, so when you are, when you are expressing as a real fraction, as a visible fraction that has a numerator and a denominator, there will be a kind of separation again, and that is what I'm going to explain. So you have to know that a decimal number is actually a combination of two forms of numbers, which are a whole number and decimal fractions. These are decimal fractions They are called decimal fractions because they are found in a decimal number, but they are just decimal fractions without denominators. Okay, so you have to explain that, and then you have to make them understand that 3 and 2 here are fractions, but the their denominators are not shown. Okay, the denominators are not visible. Okay, but let them have it in mind that 3 here, since it's found after the decimal point, and this must be a fraction, and this must also be a fraction, since they are found after the decimal point. Okay, now if this is a fraction, and it must be, if this number that comes immediately after the decimal point is a fraction, then it must be a fraction of a tenth. A fraction of a tenth. This is a tenth. Okay, so this must be a fraction of a tenth. So in this case, this must be 3 over 10. Okay, and this is a second digit. Okay, and therefore, since it's a second digit after the decimal point, it must be a fraction of 100. So 2 here is actually 200. Okay, and 2 together, since you have 2 digits, the two of them must be a fraction of 100. So you have to explain this. So in solving this, in solving and expressing this a decimal number as a fraction, you must do it this way. Since this is a combination, you write your zero whole number. Okay, the whole number in this case is 0, and then plus, then 32 must be a fraction of 100. Okay, then you can now reduce, or rather you add them. 0 plus 32 over 100 will remain 32 over 100. 0 plus anything added to a 0 will still remain the same. Okay, now you now come to the time to reduce this fraction to the lowest term. Okay, the way I teach it is writing out 32 and 100, and then using common factors to divide them, starting with 2. Okay, 2 divided 32 will give you 16, divide 100 will give you 50, and 2 divided 16 will give you 8, divide 50 to give you 25. Then that tells you that this is 8 over 25. Okay, 8 over 25. So 0.32 is 8 over 25. So that is how you can teach it to your pupil. Okay, so I want to do that over again so as to help you understand again. I want to do that again to help you understand. Okay, you have 0.32. The best way to do it is writing 0 plus, okay, since point here is a separator, that should be changed to a plus. Okay, then plus, then this 32 coming after the decimal point, not 32 but 32. Okay, they are definitely 2-digit number, and they are definitely a fraction of 100. So that should be written as 32 over 100. Then 0 plus 32 over 100 is actually 32 over 100. Then you go through the process of reducing them to the lowest term. Uh, uh, then 32 here, 2 in 32 is 16, and 2 in 100 is 50, 2 in 16 is 8, and 2 in 50 is 25, and that is going to give you 8 over 25. So 0.32 is equal to 8 over 25. So believe. Let's also solve this problem that has this decimal number has a non-zero whole number. I mean that the whole number here is a number other than 0, in this case 2. So similarly, to express this number as a fraction in the lowest term, you have to follow the same process. Okay, 2.75 is 2 plus 75 over 100. It has to be over 100 because we have two-digit number, so there must be a fraction of 100, a fraction of 100. Okay. Now you add up 2 plus 75 over 100 is two whole numbers, 75 over 100. Now you have to go through the process of reducing this fraction to the lowest term, writing out 75 and 100. And then you look for common factor. In this case, it has to be 5. And 5 divided 75 is going to be 1, 5. Okay, 15. And here will be 20. And 5 can still divide to give 3 here and 4 here. So that means that two whole number 75 over 100 is something as 2 whole number 3 over 4. So I believe that with this simple method, your learners, no matter how dull they are, they will be able to tackle problems involving expressing decimal numbers as fractions in their lowest term. And if you find it useful, I'd like you to reach out to me and tell me how it worked for you. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.